Preoccupati delle cose spizzi.
Bravo, esatto. Colomba, stiamo registrando?
Partita.
Senti, fammi una cortesia, Colò. Puoi provare a parlare un attimo?
È andato via l'audio, dimmi.
Colò, prova a parlare un attimo.
Mi senti?
Sì, un attimo.
Sì.
Voglio provare a
Faccio
mettere
prova
l'audio in
prova?
sala. Sì. Aspetta,
Prova, prova, prova.
aspetta. Ah,
Prova.
allora, perché... Aspetta un attimo.
Questo non è il tuo però, giusto?
Questo è il mio PC.
Ah, questo è il tuo.
Riparla un po'.
Si sente? Prova.
Ok, aspetta che non ti sentiamo, quindi ha agganciato l'HDMI.
Ah.
Volume. Aspetta, eccolo.
Sì, sì, siamo qua, non ti preoccupare.
Eccolo qua. Allora, adesso l'ho agganciato. Fai prova, mo.
Prova, prova. Mi sentite? No,
Allora,
manco adesso.
perché non me lo... Oh. Vorrei sapere dov'è il volume. Prova un po' a parlarlo.
Prova, prova, mi sentite?
Prova, niente da fare.
Niente.
Qui
Allora,
sentiamo però.
Sì, in
parla?
aula non si sente.
No, in aula non si sente. Capisco per quale motivo. Vabbè, mi metto gli speaker. Dai. Mi senti ora?
Sì, sì, si sente e si vede perfettamente.
Okay. In this last part of the morning, I would like to show you something we are doing in terms of research activity on CBRN here at the university. And I will start with some work we are doing on AI applied to CBRN, and then something on radiological and nuclear application. Regarding AI, this is a presentation that I have been called to do last year in occasion of the 10 international meeting of the national focal point of the initiative that is called CBRN Center of Excellence. So this is a European initiative to cooperate and spread the knowledge on CBRN from country in the European Union to countries that are not part of the European Union. And there is a strong cooperation with Africa and Middle East as well. In fact, Mustafa is the national focal point of Sierra Leone, and we met in that occasion last year in Bruxelles. So, just the task of the presentation, show you a CBRN AI related risk, show you the potential AI application to enhance CBRN safety and security. I will share you some case study and lesson learned, and we will explore you some future developments and opportunities. where we are now, but before that, what is AI? AI is present in our life since when? How long do we have AI in our life, in your opinion? How many years? More or less, yes. Is something like 78 years that we have AI in our life. So AI is this big circle here, this one, and then inside AI, with this definition and with this algorithm, have been developed machine learning and deep learning application for data analysis, for instance. And just recently, the private company pop out the generative AI, even if the generative AI has been invented and is present since 25 years, more or less. We see a huge increase of the application of generative AI in the last 3-4 years, more or less, because the first company that had AI in store, the generative one, has been Google with Gemini. They had it almost 25, 26 years ago, but they decided to do not put it on the market because they thought that it was too dangerous for the human knowledge. Once OpenAI put it on the market, all the other company put it on the market as well, but they already had it in store. So now we have Copilot from Office, from Windows. We have Gemini from Google, ChatGPT from OpenAI. We have Gronk from X, the one of Elon Musk. We have the DeepSeek from China. DeepSeek is the only one of this one that has a business version that is free of charge. For all the other one, you have to pay something, 20-25 euro per month. So basically, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe not, but with the let's say with the presence of generative AI in our life, last year for the first time in Italy, for the first time in the world, sorry, the curve of the increase of the knowledge of humanity has started to become flat. So we had an increase in the last 150 years, and last year the curve started to bend. It is not clear if it is thanks to generative AI or not, but it is a matter of fact. Why? Because we use it in the wrong way. One of the principles of the algorithm of AI is the incapability of create and the capability of elaborate. So, as not creative capability, as not elaborating capability, and this is how the algorithm is built. The second problem is how we put a request on generative AI. The request has to be composed by 4 blocks, 4 domain. The first block, I have to say, who am I? What does it mean? If I use AI to do a report for a homework of the CBRN master courses, the first thing, just to give you an example, the first thing that I have to do, I have to specify that I am a student of this edition of the first or second level of the master course in the University of Rome Tor Vergata. Okay? So, the center of research of the algorithm goes into the direction of what it is present on the net related to this course. So we start to address the algorithm. And this is for all the kind of prompting that we do. If I'm a student of the 5th year of energetic engineering of the University of Rome Tor Vergata, and I am doing the course of nuclear measurements of Professor Malizia, in the first part, I have to say I am a student of energetic engineering, 5th year. I am doing the master degree at the University of Rome Tor Vergata, and this is who am I. Second block, the contest. I have to do an examination with Professor Andrea Malizia in the course of nuclear measurements and instrumentation. Or I have to do the homework for module 1 that is entitled blah, 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 with this master course, first or second level. And at that point, you have the contest. Third point, third block, the request. What you have to do? I have to reply to question number 1. In order to reply to the question number 1, I give you the file. So you take all the file of the course, of the module, and you upload the file on the system. And you have to specifically ask to the system, take all the file, open it, read it, study it, elaborate it. If you do not give all the information like a baby, it opens, it reads the first page, it takes the first page from the scratch, it searches something related to the first page, and it gives you an answer that is not related to the presentation, okay? 4 block, details. You have to give as much as details as you can. So let's make a test. Then we will do the presentation, because I know you will use it, okay? At least use it in a proper way, because the homework that usually you send are terrible. Still, I will correct it with Turnitin, so I will ask you to revise it, okay? Because we know what is the percentage of generative AI you have used. So if you go over the 50%, the homework is cancelled, you have to repeat it, okay? But if you use it properly, okay? So this is the paid version, the business one. Once you will complete the enrollment here at the University of Rome Tor Vergata, you will have the paid version of Copilot. You will access to all the Office 365 package. So you will have Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Teams, and Business Copilot. So with this enrollment to the master course, you have free of charge access to a business generative AI. I use ChatGPT. Why? Long story short, it works better. Okay, it's 20 euro per month. It's 250 euro per year. So, in my opinion, good investment. I can say you that I have colleagues in the past. I have paid much more than that, and the capability to give me some useful information was way lower than ChatGPT. By the way, what can you do here? You can start a project. Why the project is interesting? Because once you start the project, you can give specific instruction for the project. So every time you put a request on the generative AI, basically the request start always reading the instruction you give for the specific project. And if there is some material, it has to be written every time you make a prompting, you make a request. You can also upload a material which is static. So every time you do a request, it reads that instruction, it looks at that material. Then in the chat, you can add further material or further instruction, but the base, it is always taken, okay? As you can see, I use it basically for everything, okay? I used to analyze everything, but I do the work, and then I ask the system to help me to improve it. When you ask the system to do the work on behalf of you, it makes a mistake if you are a student, it makes a crime if you are working on it. So let me show you an example. Let's go with the homework. So I am now the professor of nuclear measurement and instrumentation. I want to give you an assignment about the risk related to the explosion of a nuclear bomb of 15 kilotons, okay? exploding in the city of Paris. Do not blame me, I do not like the soccer team or France. So every time I simulate a nuclear blast, I go in Paris, okay? But it's just for soccer reason, not for resist reason. So all the simulation on a nuclear atomic blast that you see on my computer are all focused in the city of Paris, okay? I have to specify it, otherwise you start to think that I have something against France. Zero problem with France. I love French sky, I love French cheese. I do not like the soccer team because it's better than the Italian one. Okay. So, what is the contest? First block. I am a student of the 5th year of energetic engineering at Tor Vergata University. Okay, block 1. Block 2, what is the contest? I am attending the class of nuclear measurement. Do not worry about the grammatic or the typo error. Just write, because there is an automatic correction when you send the request. So I honestly do not look at what I do. Or you can do something like that, which is better. Hi, ChatGPT. I am a student of the 5th year of energetic engineering of University of Rome Tor Vergata, and I am attending the class of nuclear measurement and instrumentation of Professor Andrea Malizia. He asked us to do 2 pages report related to the risk of the explosion of a nuclear bomb of 15 kilotons in the city of Rome. The specification, the details that he wants 2 pages report divided in paragraph, 6 lines long, and the focus has to be on the air contamination. So if I use it a lot, I can become stupid enough to unlearn how to write it, because you have just to tell it, and it is everything transformed in text. So I give who am I, the contest, the request, the details, and I send the prompt. Now the system is faking, okay? He's pretending to think, and he's pretending to take some time to write, okay? The report is ready instant after the request. It is just something for us, for the user. In that way, we think that it is thinking. That's it. So the waiting time is just something for us. It is not true. At this point, I have the report, so I cannot assume that you use ChatGPT by the structure of the report, because I specifically ask that I want 2 pages divided in paragraph of 5, 6 lines. So I want you to try to cheat on me, okay? And you copy and paste this report here, okay? This part here is the lecture I do at the high school in Italy every year, okay? Because there we start to have the problem. They use it in an improper way, as the most of you, as all of you, not the most. I know that all of you use it in an improper way, okay? With the exception of few persons working on machine learning or AI. So what's wrong with this report? Without reading at it, it is perfect. What's wrong with it? So how can I tell you that it is generated by AI if I ask the system to structure the report in AI modality? So it is not from the structure. I wanted this structure. So what's wrong with it? No. You copy on Word, you copy it on Word, you reformat it on Word. So let's say that you have copied, you put it on, you already know the answer, so I do not give you the floor. I know that. Bravo. The references are missing. So when you talk about something that has also a compilative part, you have to put the reference. It is right. So I can ask for reference, right? Okay. ChatGPT, thank you so much for the work that you have done, but my professor wants the reference as well. Can you add it, please? Being the... Aspetta. Aspetta, che te scrivi paper, quindi lo so che lo sai qual è il point. Un attimo, aspetta un attimo. So now it is doing a great job. Is not only writing the reference, but is putting the reference in the text. Sometimes it does it, sometimes not. My ChatGPT does it because in the example I do in classes, I train the system to do it, okay? So I have the reference that are in the text, and at the end I have the reference list, which is great. So I have everything I need, right? Now let's make a tentative. Thank you, ChatGPT. I was wondering if you can, no, wondering, I have to come. Thank you, ChatGPT. I want you to keep the text that you have used in the report because I like it, but I want you to change the reference list. I want reference only from 2025 and 2026. So rewrite, do not change the test, change the reference. At this point, it says, perfect, I am doing what you ask. In the real life, a person make the reply of Martin at one of the inject yesterday. That is this one. Because in the real life, if you ask to change the reference, it means that you change the material that you used to study, so automatically the test cannot be the same. What does it mean? That not this version, neither the previous one, had the correct reference, because this is not how the system works. What the system does in that case, if I do not put file of the publication or ask, read just the stuff I give it to you, it writes a report based on the highest statistic of access of the paper that it found on internet. After that, when I ask the reference, he reread the test, give a look on internet and associate the best reference to the test. So when I ask keep the test and change the reference, he reread the test and he find the best reference of 2025 and 2026 here. What does it mean? It is committing the crime of plagiarism. So both the version of the report are under the crime of plagiarism. The system cannot do it. The real people do not do it. How do you discover it? And it comes the most important part. In the end, there is the knowledge of the people that are working on it, because I read most of the paper and the book on the topic. So if a student makes a great work, add a series of reference, at least 70% of the reference, I already read it. And I can say that what it is in the report cannot be taken by the reference he or her has placed at the end of the report. So the most important thing is not only that this system makes the crime of plagiarism, is incapable to create, it is very good just in copy and paste in a very fast way, but if the competence of each one of us disappear, we have not control on what it is right and what it is wrong. So if you stop study at a certain point, in 50 years, we will not have a correct control on the real and fake information. This is why the new generation have to use it in a proper way, and this is why we have to study before using it. Otherwise, we become stupid, okay? And the bending of the curve of the knowledge of the humanity is not just a case. So you want cheat to take a couple of points more for this master, it means you are losing 1 year or 2 years. You want, again, you want to pay us to lose your time. Thank you so much. Okay. Now let's see. This is why I strongly suggest you to study. You are not smart if you take the title without studying. You are just losing your time. Okay. You are very stupid if you do it. Do not feel smart to copy and homework. You are studying. You are just stupid in doing. And you start to be grown men and women. So my opinion is take the chance to get the best from this course. Okay? This is the pep talk. Now we go to the lecture. What does this system makes very well? It is very good in programming. So if you ask the system to write codes for you, it is not capable to write very long code, but again, if you are capable to make a program and you have to correct the error for the program, you have to do debugging for the program, it can help you in a very fast way. If you have to do short program, it can help you to do it. It doesn't speak Italian or English or Arabic, it speaks code languages. And it is very good in speaking the code languages that are free of charge online, because it can have the access to all the information on the net. For instance, the best way to use it is use it, for instance, to, I don't know, programming in Python. Okay, let's ask the system something. Dear ChatGPT, I kindly ask you to write a code in Python to evaluate the energy released by the explosion of a nuclear bomb of 15 kilotons. And I kindly ask you also to calculate the thermal variation, if it is possible or not too difficult for you. Give me the code, run the code, give me the results. Now it is working for real, because now it has to think on how to write the code. The code can or cannot be the best option to make this calculation, but in any case, it is a code that you, if you put it on a Python compiler and you run it, it works. So it doesn't make mistake in speaking the language. I put a little bit of confusion on the system because I ask the thermal part. Calculation of energy is very easy. Thermal part is a little bit difficult. In fact, they say, sorry, I go just with a simplification. I give you a temperature variation and I give you the energy part, and it starts to generate the code, and it is writing the code correct. There is no doubt about it. What does it mean using this code? It means that this application is used for if you learn in programming in Python or MATLAB or C++ or whatever do you want. If you are incapable to programming, this kind of application is totally useless. Same concept with the report. If you have no knowledge about your writing, the system cannot help you. So it is a great tool if you have a huge competence on a topic. If your competence is small, talk with somebody with the competence. If you start to talk about competence on that, again, in 50 years, our sons will be incapable to distinguish reality from fake info. It's Python. There is Python under QGIS. Python.
So if I just pop it up,
It reads and it works. Then not necessarily is capable to do what you have in mind if you do not learn what it is written in the code, okay? But it works. You just copy here and you paste it on the QGIS compiler for the georeferencing. I show you one application we did with it now, okay? We take the algorithm of hotspot, we put it on Python, and then we consider the effect of the valley and the hill on the radioactive deposition in Fukushima. And we georeferenced it in over time and space in 3D. And you can do it just programming. It is not a tool of the software. And we ask help to QGIS to be fastest, to ChatGPT to go faster with the writing of the code. Okay. Then again, it has not a creative capability. So please, I kindly ask you to make an image of a crowd, and I want to see the faces of the person running away from a fire, and I want a huge crowd of scared people. Can you do this image for me? And it takes a little bit to do the images. And we see some of the mistake that makes in terms of creation. So basically, as far as the faces of the people in the images goes away from the principal scenario, it seems that the face of the person are melted. And if you ask the system to do a crowd in a concert with all the hands up, many of the hands will have 4 fingers or 6 fingers, okay? Those are called AI hallucination. And the hallucination are related to the fact that the system is incapable to generate and to create and to elaborate, okay? But if you look at the system, the marketing stuff that you see on YouTube, can you design an happy turtle? No, sorry. Can you design a happy turtle? In this case, the system is capable because it has been trained to do easy stuff like designing animal as cartoons. So if you work with happy turtles, you can use ChatGPT for the image generation, but just in this case, okay? I know that you want to see the happy turtle, so we will wait with the generation of the image. Okay. Oh no, maybe it is coming. Yes, okay. It's an happy turtle. So as you can see, the happy turtle works very well. But I think the most of you are not interested in this kind of application. Okay, so you want to use it, use it. We give you a business version of the artificial intelligence. It has sense for you? No. But if you want to use it, okay? So where it is possible to apply AI, basically in each one of the science area, there is not a specific one. And I will leave you the presentation with all the links, so you have not to take picture. There are interesting book done by the Unigri as well on the use of AI for investigation and crime application, and you can download it from this slide. we already saw it in the day one of the course. Let's go a little bit deep into it. So here, basically, you have the main chemical disaster that are used as case study in CBRN courses. Bhopal gas strategy in India, Seveso disaster in Italy, or Tokyo sarin attack, or Deepwater Horizon oil spill. You will see it in detail in the chemical module. But with the AI, what you can do? For sure, you can create lethal molecules that are not in the list of the Chemical Weapon Convention. This is what Professor Binan Rai in 2022, and he get 40,000 chemical lethal molecule in less than 6 hours that were not listed, now are listed in the Chemical Weapon Convention. And here there is the paper on Nature that he has published on this topic, because usually just to have one, you have to do weeks of tests in labs. He got 40,000 in 6 hours. Then another problem, not only for chemical, but also for biological or radiological application. With the AI, you can control the BIS. BIS are the building automation system. So there are paper, even here I put one paper, in which it is already demonstrated that AI has been used to manipulate the building automation system. They have done a few damage right now. For instance, in a conference in Singapore, it is reported on this paper, they turn off through the AI the AC, and the conference was in summertime. So basically they let impossible for the person in the room stay there because it was too hot. But if you want to enter, for instance, in a controlled room with a radioactive source in a hospital or in a university, you can do it with a cell phone. You have not to be worried about it. Again, maybe you cannot enter in a controlled area from the firefighters, the army, or in some more advanced research center. But if you want to see something in university or inside a public hospital, it's not so tough. Okay, it's not so easy. It's not so tough. Then for bio landscape, those are some of the case study. Siege of Kaffa back in 1346 in Crimea. Cannot put the nation because we are unsure what will be the owner of Crimea in the next year, even if everybody has an idea, we cannot tell in this moment. Then the other smallpox incident in Kazakhstan, the anthrax letter, you will remember it for sure in USA, the Ebola outbreaks or the COVID or Spanish flu outbreak. What is the problem now? With the AI, we can design new pathogens again. For RN, we have Hiroshima and Nagasaki for sure, Chernobyl disaster, Fukushima disaster, and the Goiânia radiological accident that you will see it in the radiological and nuclear module. What we are scared now, the capability to use this system through AI control. So, what are the good uses of this technology in CBRN? For instance, help us in the anomaly detection when we do a control of a sample of air, water, or ground, soil. Do predictive analysis, work with natural language processing, do image recognition, work with the autonomous system that are the drones. You have 4 types of drones. You have underwater, water, air, ground, and air. So those are the 4 types of unmanned vehicles you can use. There are also the one for space application, but those are the one we use the most in CBRN domain. So let's take some example here. Let me move on. Okay, very nice application that you can find in this paper. It is done by colleagues, I think, in USA. they have they have developed a machine learning system to improve the decision support framework in CBRN emergencies. As you can see, the approach that it is used in decision making is the OOAD approach, that is basically OODA approach, that is basically observe, orient, decide, and act. Before the machine learning application, you take the information from the CBRN scenario and you go immediately in the decision-making process. Now, if you feed the system they have developed with the information from the scenario, this system can help you to take a decision. Again, the system cannot substitute the expert, can be just something that is sit on your side. Then here at the university, we have used it for this kind of application. On the left here, we have a simulation that we have done with a software that is called COMSOL Multiphysics. This simulation is a simulation of a chemical dispersion in air, and it is a 2D simulation. This kind of simulation, what does COMSOL Multiphysics do? It takes a domain, it divides the domain in mesh, so in a little area, and it solves a system of differential equation over time and space. So the results of the first mesh is the data entry to solve the problem in the second mesh. So you have a very accurate and precise information for this kind of simulation, but it takes a lot to do a 2D simulation. This simulation, this one, can take up to 1 week, okay? And if you go in 3D, the computer can run also for weeks or months. So you need accuracy and precision, but you have to speed up the time. So what it has been done? With the results coming from COMSOL, we have fed and trained an algorithm of AI, and after 1 hour 52 minutes of training, the capability of the artificial intelligence to give a 2D plume of chemical contamination has been this one. As you can see, these results is very close to these other results. But these results has been obtained in 1 week. This one has been obtained after 1 hour of training in 0.009 seconds, okay? With a normal laptop. So if you use, for instance, MBC analysis, or if you use, for instance, Hotspot or Aloha or STEM, the software we will see in the course, you have in less than 1 second the results, but precision, accuracy are very low. Here you have high precision accuracy in low time, okay? But you need experts that are capable to use it. Do not do technical question now, I will not answer. Quale? Questa? This is because the training time has been very short. You should continue to train the system for a little bit more, but just to show you that you have similar plume in a low amount of time, okay? This is another work we are doing with the Italian firefighters, and we developed this first part with Riccardo Quaranta, who is former PhD candidate, now is working in the Italian Institute of Nuclear Physics. And the second part of the work, we are working with your PhD candidate, the firefighter one, it is called Domenico Grosso. I think you know Domenico. Okay. And for the Italian firefighters have a cooperation agreement and you have one place in our PhD industrial engineering every year for the next 6 years. So even this year, if somebody wants to do the PhD together with the master, it is possible for you. Okay, just to keep you updated on it. So we take the data from your network of radiological contamination, and we receive, I think, 485 data from 400 station for few hours of observation. And the algorithm that has developed Ricardo, it has been used to reconstruct the map of the radiological contamination all over Italian territory, starting from the point that you have, because the point give you a punctual information of the contamination. With the algorithm, highest is the number of, it's very easy from a mathematical point of view. By the way, highest is the number of the network, better is the capability of the software to reconstruct the data. You have an error for sure, but at least you have an information of a predicted contamination, even in the area that have not the sensor on top of it. Because as you know, from one sensor to you can have also 10, 15 or 30 kilometers. So at least you have an idea when something it is happening. Then what has Ricardo the results coming from hotspot. Here he has simulated the explosion of a nuclear blast, and he has fed the results of the simulation in the system. So he crossed the data with the one of the sensor, and he has used the same algorithm to rebuild the plume of the nuclear blast inside this system to do some prediction. Then another system that is developed in terms of research has been the Vertigo project. The Vertigo has been a project that it has closed 1 year and a half ago, I think, done with Enea, with the firefighters, with the army, and with some private companies working in Italy. They have developed an augmented reality system to train the operator, and the system is still under development, but it is a beginning of an interesting use of the augmented reality to train operator and increase the number of hours of training at lower costs. That's the idea, basically. This is the application I told you in day one. Luca and Andrea, the two research fellows from this university, University of Pisa, have basically created, and it has been mounted under drones, a little system with the chemical and radiological sensor, low payload, 150 grams, low cost, less than 150 euro, to detect the chemical or radiological anomaly in air. It has been tested in Italy and in France, and our system detected the anomaly. The commercial one were incapable to do it. I would like to curse now, but I can't. By the way, we are very happy about it. Then, that's the idea we would like to develop, and there is a paper on it, you can download it. The idea we would like to develop is create a storm of drones with the low cost and low payload, and send this storm in the air. So if one of them detect an anomaly, because if you have a certain direction of wind and you send just one drone, maybe the drone cannot enter inside the plume, so you have no detection in certain cases. If you send more than one, and one detects an anomaly, the other one go close to the first one, and they make a detailed detection in a specific area. But in order to do it, we need to find money from European Commission. It is just an idea for now. Then This is one of the systems that we have developed with the highest payload. Here we put the same electronics of the previous one, but we put commercial sensor for chemical and for radiological detection. So the payload was around alpha kilo, more or less. And to drag alpha kilo, you need a biggest drone. And this is the map, the reconstruction of the map of contamination we have done in an experimental campaign. So we release some chemical substance, some simulant of CVA, and we test it on field as well. And a similar application has been done by some colleague from Belgium in the ENOTIS project. This is another interesting system using the augmented reality developed by USA Army together with the Czech Republic Army, and the simulator is in Czech Republic. You have basically in the glasses, you have a war scenario. The AI change the war scenario every time you play with it. And it is very interesting because when you train with a serious game, the problem is that after 3-4 games, you know what is the scenario you are facing. So you become very good in that scenario. The AI changes the scenario. You have the, I don't know what's the English for, that not the rifle, il mirra, come si dice in inglese? The machine gun. And you have to use the machine gun, but every time you see a different scenario. It has been developed with the cooperation of the JCBRN Center of Excellence in Vyshkov, and it is something I think for the moment can be used only by military personnel. And it has been nice because when I went in Brno at the Czech Republic, at the JCBRN COE conference last year, the colleagues from the Czech Army, they have no idea that they had 3 kilometers from the place of the conference this simulator, because they asked me, where do you find information? I say, on Google. I Google it, I was searching and I find it. Then another stuff we have used in the thesis of ALBA, we use and we apply the game theory to improve the decision system in a situation like this application has been tested for the transloading of the chemical weapons from Syria to the OPCW facility to help the decision maker to take decision in that situation. So we have used the game theory to help decision maker acting during a CBRN situation. And it has been very tough because there were physician and engineer working with a person with a law degree, and working with person with a law degree is very tough for us. Yes, I am sure. I need you, but when we have to talk about mathematics, it's very difficult to talk with you. By the way, we need to learn to talk with everybody in this contest, okay? Then, of course, we face a lot of ethical challenges, but let's go from a way to another. It is a very nice algorithm you can find on this Nature paper. Basically, a group of crazy American researchers have used the same algorithm of used in the game Tetris to rebuild the signal coming from a radioactive source to see not only the kind of radioactive source, but also the position in the room. And apparently it is working, because if you take the last system the 7th Regiment has bought, that is the scintillator, the 150,000 euro scintillator, the only two in Italy, you have it now in the command. It is not a secret, right? Or if it was a secret, sorry, but I think it is not a secret. That system is capable not only to identify the radioactive source, but it gives you an information with a camera on the top of it about the exact location, which is good for the operator when you have to do the retrieval of the source, because you spend less time exposed to radiation. So it is better for not only for the success of the operation, but also for the safety of the operator. Okay. This one can be used in cybersecurity as well, but this is a very interesting case study. If you want to see the full interview, you can go here. The full interview is done by a colleague from the Italian Prime Minister office. Is in Italian language. The name is Antonio Parrilla. Antonio is a communication expert. You need to know one thing. The WHO, the World Health Organization, every year organize a course online to give the certificate of infodemic manager. And this international certification has started in 2020. Each one of you can apply. It's free of charge, the course. But you have to convince the admitting committee that you can do the course. So how do you apply to this course? You have to send your CV and 5 minutes of video. Antonio told me that he has done the application 3 times because he failed the video every time. Who is the infodemic manager? Is a recognized expert from the WHO that has as much knowledge on bio as well as knowledge on communication technique. Because as you have seen during COVID, we have 2 categories. The expert incapable to communicate and the communicator incapable to have biological knowledge. So it has been a problem worldwide. Let's make an example of one of the president we had back on the time, Donald Trump. I report fact. It is not a political opinion, it's just a fact, okay? Trump said back in 2020 that with the, give me an help, the English for acqua ossigenata? Peroxide, okay. With the peroxide, you kill COVID. True. If you take the virus on a table and you put peroxide, the virus died. 7 American citizens died because after being positive to the COVID, they take peroxide and they inject in their body. Okay, that's an example on how it is important to do a proper communication, because 7 persons died from wrong communication, but even 1 is too much. So the infodemic manager, if you want to apply, you can do it, is a course with a final exam and a certification that you will maintain for all your life, and you are in the list of the WHO as a recognized infodemic manager. In Italy, we have just 8 infodemic managers. One of them is Antonio Parrilla. One of them, Nicola Simone, is a biologist. He will come Monday for the lecture of the first level. So what are these 2 bubbles? The bubbles are called echo chamber. What is an echo chamber? The echo chamber is the position in which the algorithm of a social network put us when we are on a social network. So if we scroll in a very fast way a news on the social network, we do not like it. If you put an emoticons or a comment in which we dislike the news, we do not like it. If we look more than 5 seconds, the algorithm understands that we like it, or if we put a thumbs up or a positive comment. So those are the echo chamber related to Twitter. At the time, this was the name, now is X, related to the problem of the murder of Floyd, the American citizen that has been choked by a police man in USA. As you remember, we had the movement Black Lives Matter. The purple bubble are all the person online on Twitter that has done that had a positive reaction on Black Lives Matter. The green one, all the person, each dot is one user, one person that had a negative comment on Black Lives Matter. And this is how the algorithm of the social network work. Every social network for every kind of topic. So just looking at this image, the two bubble do not touch itself. So the person that are in the purple bubble, they never talk, they never read the comment, they never interact with the user that are in the green bubble. So the first thing that we can deduce from it is that the social network is the most anti-democrat place in where you can express your opinion, because you interact only with people that have your idea. And you are so keen to think that you are in the right idea because you see thousands of people with your idea, and you never see the other thousands of people that have a different idea from you. So you tend to think that your idea is the only one and the other one is not considered at all. So you have two options. One, force the algorithm. So you start to request stuff to the social network that are at the opposite of what you think that is right. And at this point, a new word on the social pop up on your screen. Or, which is the best option for me, you go in the middle of people and you talk with the people without using the social network. And in that case, again, you can talk with everybody and you can meet all the idea. But how can we use it? And how has it been used in a malevolent way with an AI application? This one that you see here on the right are still the same bubble we see previously, but as you can see, there are two orange under bubble that are inside it, and this orange part are all fake users, are all chatbot created with the AI. If you click on the profile of one of these chatbots, it looks like a real person. You find comment, you find picture with the family, you find picture of daily life moment and so on. But those are fake users. Those chatbots have been programmed and placed inside these two echo chambers to turn on the discussion, to convince the person of the echo chamber A, the non-racist one, that the other guy are the evil, and vice versa. They have done something more. This chatbot have organized, and it has been a discovery from the Italian Prime Minister office. Italian Prime Minister office was involved in this analysis program with other countries. They have organized marches in USA, being sure that after 30 minutes, the two opposite cohorts find themselves one in front of the other on the same way to create a social problem. In fact, if you remember, at the end of this period, we'll end with an entrance of person in the parliament in the USA, okay? At the same time, we had yellow gilet in France. At the same time, we had COVID, and all these mechanisms are used to, let's say, reduce the attention of the nation over what it is happening in other parts of the world. In these crazy years, Russia has placed all the troops and all the military facility close the border of Ukraine, telling that they have to do training activities. But the world in that period was, let's say, in the middle of a lot of situations. So it has been discovered that this chatbot has been placed there by Russian internet agency. So it is one way to create a problem in a nation and having more room to do something bad because you remove the attention of the nation from other problem because you have your own problem you have to deal with. Of course, it is not only thanks to this. This is just an example on how can be bad the use of this system. And the other bad use is misinformation. So let's see this video. Let me. Sorry. So this is an application of, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. Do you buy this stuff? Do you believe in it? No, but you have an education. You have knowledge about it. Most of the people in the world have not a high education and have not the capability to distinguish a fake video from a real one. So another bad way to use it is to put on the net a sort of a large number of fake news that seems are coming by let's say credible sources by authorities when it is not the truth. Now we can distinguish it, but the most of the people cannot. And as my grandfather used to say, you are an engineer, I am a shepherd. When we go to vote, I count one, you count one. So we have to pay attention on it. Of course, we can use to jeopardize the communication and geopolitics as well. And we already see this slide. That's it with this intro. Then we will go deep into the stuff at the end of the module. So at the end of each module, we will do 1 or 2 hours on research application because we are inside the university, so you have to see something also about it. And all the research application that we see can be a topic for your final thesis. I have another presentation now for the nuclear radiological part, but it is another hour. It's Friday, it's 12, it's 10 past 12. You have a tough week. So for now, we stop and we see each other at the next module. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you for your attention. We will put all the material online by Tuesday, Wednesday next week, video and material with the homework. And we see on Monday with the students of the first level. And with you, I cannot remember when the next module in presence is. So June. See each other in June. Okay. Bring light clothes. Very light clothes in June. A lot. Okay. See you. Bye-bye. Guys, for those of you that are online, See you soon.
Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.